This guy is about to be the first man in history to walk around the world on foot, all without stopping. This adventure would have taken him more than 27 years, and he's finally on the home stretch. His name is Carl Bushby. He started this adventure in 1998. Way down south in South America, in Chile. At the very beginning of this walk, he had one goal: to get back home in the United Kingdom. The problem is that instead of doing what everyone does by taking a plane, he thought to himself, I'm going to walk there. But as you can imagine, it was not exactly next door. And for this journey, he imposed two rules to himself. First, he must not use any means of transportation to move forward. No cars allowed, no planes allowed, no trains allowed, not even a bicycle, just his two legs. Second, he can't go back until he gets there on foot. And as you can imagine, during this journey, he had some serious troubles that could have cost him his life many times over. First, there was the forest trap, because he went through a very dangerous forest between Colombia and Panama. This place is known to be the most dangerous on the planet. This forest is known for heavily deadly animals, traffickers who can kill you, and also armed groups. And back then, when he crossed Colombia, it was at war. He even told how once he had to sneak between two front lines while fighting was taking place. But that's not the only time he almost died. It almost happened in Russia too. Because in this challenge, he gave himself another challenge: to become the first man to go from the United States to Russia on foot. So he went through the Bering Strait, a place where it is extremely cold. Some have lost their lives there. So for 14 days, he walked and swam in freezing cold. And at one point, he was swept away by currents for more than 80 kilometers. Despite that, he survived and reached the other shore. The problem is that once he arrived in Russia, he was arrested and kept for several weeks, because Russians don't joke with migrants. The Russians literally wanted to throw him in jail for more than 5 years. Fortunately, he managed to get free. All these troubles didn't stop him from continuing, because he almost died again in Asia this time. He went through Siberia, Mongolia and China still on foot, but this time was during the 2008 financial crisis, and because of this crisis he lost several sponsors who were vital to him for this adventure. So for days he didn't eat, but it was at the end of this journey in Asia that he really flirted with death, because he had to continue his journey. But the problem is that in front of him there was the Caspian Sea. He only had two paths: either he went north where there was Russia, and he already had the experience with the Russians, they don't joke, or he went south where there was Iran, and they either don't joke. Obviously, he didn't want to take another risk of going through Russia or to end up in jail. So he spent more than 1 year in Turkmenistan to search for a solution. But he didn't find anyone. So he had to go through the Caspian Sea on swimming. For more than 31 days, he swam more than 300 kilometers, still becoming the first man to do so. When he got back to land, he still continued his journey, where he crossed Azerbaijan and Turkey before reaching Europe just 2 months ago, the last continent. This guy's life deserves a Netflix documentary.